Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I'm joined by the Commonwealth Super-Flyweight champion Emma Dolan. Emma, how are you today, mate?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. I mean, just for disclosure for the audience, it's the second time we're recording this interview because I forgot. Well, my finger slips and I've ended the interview about 10 seconds into it. So we're doing it again. But we want to start with your win against Nicola Hopewell, obviously successfully retaining your Commonwealth title, and I mean, safe to say, a very satisfying win for you.
Yeah, it was going to Lions Den as such, fighting Nicola at her home, really. I think she was maybe slightly a bigger name on social media platforms and that. She's friends with Bainey Bridges, weren't she? So that kind of lifted her profile a bit as well. So yeah, no, it was a good win for me and raised my profile quite a bit.
It definitely was. Obviously it was live on kind of Talk Sport. Obviously, I know the fight's kind of in its entirety on YouTube as well. And obviously, like you said, I think we said in the first interview, obviously LaRon Richards, Sonny Edwards, David Diamante, we're all kind of there speaking. Obviously, it definitely kind of has helped raise your profile, that fight as well.
Yeah, definitely. It was brilliant. Yeah, brilliant show put on by Izzy and GBM Sports and that. It was great. Yeah, Lorraine Richards was there, Billy Joe Saunders, Sonny Edwards who's fighting tonight. So yeah, no, it was really, really good show.
It definitely was. Obviously, I do want to touch on kind of your trainer, Carl Greaves. Obviously, kind of trains some very good fighters. Obviously, I know Stanley Stannard's one of them. David Avanesyan, who's back in December as well. But obviously, what was it like kind of having him in your corner, kind of, and how is he keeping you calm during in between rounds?
Yeah, I mean, Carl's brilliant. I mean, other than being a brilliant trainer and his boxing knowledge and IQ, he's a lovely bloke, one of the nicest men you'll meet. So it all helps. But yeah, him and Adam kept me happy, kept me cool, calm, collected in the dressing room, and then in the fight, he's giving me a bit more of a kick up the arse more than anything, probably, to sharpen up a bit and get going. From like say the third, fourth round onwards, it was pretty dominant from there. So yeah, it must have worked.
It definitely did as well, and obviously I was saying to you as well, kind of I think probably a career best performance to date. Were they are they in agreement with that? Or obviously I know fighters yourself, your own worst critic. Sometimes the trainers can be as well. They know what you can do in the gym, but career best performance.
Uh, I think it was good performance. I took a lot less punishment than I did for my Commonwealth title fight, but I think going into my Commonwealth title fight, I'd never done a 10 rounder before. I'd never been in with. I mean, she was a two-time world title challenger, so that was a hard fight. But yeah, Nicola was probably a career best performance. I would give it probably a 6 or a 7 out of 10 because I know what I've been doing in the gym, but it's all building blocks, isn't it, on the way to where we want to be.
It definitely is, and I do want to touch on kind of David Avanesyan as well. Obviously, what a fighter, European title holder. Obviously, he's just fought Terence Crawford, the now undisputed champion. Kind of, what is it like being in the gym in and around a fighter who's got so much experience like David?
Yeah, David's a beast. He's back at the minute. It's like you think you're training hard, and you look around, you watch David train, you think, cool, I better step it up a bit. You got to go for gear you don't realise you have. He's a proper animal, and the gym's buzzing at the minute. We've got Stanley Stannard fighting for the Midlands next year. Got a good few prospects, Harvey Eldo, Tom Pogson. So yeah, gym's really thriving at the minute, and Carl and Adam are doing a really good job with us.
They definitely are, mate. And obviously, opportunities are coming thick and fast. Obviously, you're the main one that's getting a lot of fans excited. Obviously, the British Boxing Board of Control approved the fight in November's circulars that you and Shannon Ryan will now clash for the British and your Commonwealth Super Flyweight titles. I mean, an exciting fight for you and one that you're very confident in winning as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't wait for it, to be honest. I had an inkling the fight was coming before my fight with Nicola. Obviously, can't overlook people and everything like that. And it's been ordered now, so it's got to happen. And I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. Can't wait to fight on the big stage and show people what I'm about and get that British title.
Definitely, obviously, we've seen kind of Shannon fight on boxer cards before. She's now signed with Matchroom, but kind of what have you seen of Shannon Ryan? What do you know of Shannon Ryan heading into a fight with her in next year?
Yeah, she's very explosive. She's got very fast hands and that. She's been in with limited opposition. She hasn't been in there with anybody who genuinely, in my eyes, wants to win, sort of thing. And I think that would be a big factor going into the fight. But I'm sure she'll be confident in her own abilities. But I'm very confident in mine, and I know I'll be taking that win home.
I'm definitely, mate, and we're looking forward to seeing it. And obviously, as I said, it's a fight that kind of it's got a lot of the fans excited. Obviously, and a lot of people know you from your win against Nicola Hopewell. Obviously, Shannon Ryan's been on the bigger stage as well. But kind of when could we see that fight? Obviously, on that Matchroom show.
It's looking like early next year, I believe. So early next year, it'd be a good fight. I mean, these are the fights that should be getting made. I set the precedent there fighting Nicola, an undefeated fighter. People should be fighting each other. There's too much ducking in boxing where you're getting the prospects coming through, champions, and they're not fighting each other. And you know, hopefully now people are going to start fighting each other a bit more. I think you do get a lot more in the women's because we have to get the attention and get the money. But hopefully blokes follow suit and you get a few more good fights on the go.
Definitely, I feel like in most recent times, obviously the female boxing is showing up the men's boxing with some of the fights that we've had. Obviously, Katie Taylor fighting undisputed champions back to back to back as well.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
definitely. I know all of them. It's fantastic.
it definitely is, and I do want to touch on kind of the flyweight super flyweight kind of mix. Obviously, there's a lot of fighters obviously in and around your weight. Obviously, it's exciting times in the future. But if I had to ask you to rank, obviously the fighters, you got yourself, Maisie Rose Courtney, you got Shannon Ryan, Nicola Hopewell, Chloe Watson, and Lauren Parker. If you obviously, I know. Different weights right now, but kind of if you had to kind of discuss kind of who's at the top of that mix, and who you would like to fight, how would you do that?
I'm at the top of the mix. I'm number one, so we'll get that out of the way. But I sparred Chloe Watson a lot coming up to my last fight, and I've known Chloe for a good while now, and I think she's a good girl. I mean, we're not looking at fighting each other anytime soon. She's way below me. Obviously, if it's boxing, things happen, but she's doing everything at flyweight. I'm doing my thing at superfly at the minute. But I do rate Chloe. I think she's good. I think she showed a lot of grit and determination in her last fight. She's done really well to get the European title. Uh, Obviously got Lauren Parker at my weight, super flyweight European champion. She's beat the Italian woman, 40-odd-year-old woman, whoever she was. I think she beat her on points. I hadn't seen the fight, so I couldn't tell you about it. But it's a good achievement in that. I haven't really seen a lot of her or Maisie Rose, so I couldn't tell you a lot about them to be honest. But obviously, I'm fighting Shannon next, so we'll see what she's like, won't we? Bit untested, isn't she?
Definitely, and obviously you're talking about obviously Lauren Parker picking up that European title. Obviously, is it very much in 2024? We'll see yourself go through obviously British, Commonwealth, European, and then hopefully at the end of 2024, going into 2025, Emma Dolan gets a world title shot. Is that definitely the aim?
Massively. I mean, or even at the end of next year. I like to be active. Unfortunately, with moving, I can move from Norfolk to Newark, so I had a bit of a break, not having a fight for a while, and then with this Nicola fight, I kind of got messed around a little bit, getting the promoter to put it on, sort of thing. So I went through a bit of a gap from March to then October, not fighting. So really, I'd like to have three fights next year. So I don't mind fighting Shannon, Lauren, and then going for a world at the end of the year. But yeah, I want the belts. So you have to fight. You have to fight them to get the belts, haven't you?
Definitely. Anyone can get it in 2024 for Emma Dolan. I like that. And obviously, Emma, to be fair, we've breezed through the questions I've got written down. My final one, mate. We ask everyone this from kind of Eddie Hearn to Nigel Benn to Joe Cordina. What does boxing mean to you?
Boxing means everything. I mean, I've been doing this since I was 9 year old now, so I'm doing it longer than I haven't been doing it. And it shapes you as a person, doesn't it? It shapes you. Shows your dedication. It shows you that you need to work for things to get things out. It shows you discipline. And people talk about a lot of the time, like the sacrifice of boxing, but you don't really talk about a lot like what you get from it, and you get out what you put in. So if you give it your all, you do get a lot out of it. I mean, it could be a cruel sport at times, but it's treating me well at the minute, so I'm going to keep giving a lot to it.
It definitely is, and obviously where you've got that Commonwealth title and soon to be hopefully the British title as well. It's all coming up for you, Emma. Obviously, that was my final question, mate. Do you have any kind of final notes for the audience, or maybe some people who you'd like to thank or things like that?
Just a big thank you to all my supporters. Everybody buys a ticket off me. Obviously, being on the small hall shows, that's your career, isn't it? That's your bread and butter. So big thank you to them. Obviously to my trainers, Carl and Adam, and all my sponsors, because like I say, it's not like I'm getting my violin out, but it is a lot harder. People will know who've done the small hall shows to it is like the big show. So sponsorship and that does go a massive way. So a massive thank you to all my sponsors and everyone who supports me. And people like yourself having me on your channels, getting my face out there and broadcasting me out a little bit more.
No. On behalf of everyone, I'll say no problem at all, Emma. And you've thoroughly deserved it. Obviously, picking up those titles and making up there from the small hall circuit and now onto the big stage as well with that fight against Shannon Ryan. But Emma, that was my final question, mate. Thank you again for giving me your time today. And yeah, as I said, hopefully I'll be ringside with your fight against Shannon Ryan as well, mate.
Definitely, most definitely.